So now we're looking at the rat as another example of a mammalian animal. So on the rat, actually, it's much easier to see that really distinctive mammalian feature of the fur. Okay, so again, we find fur or hair on the bodies of mammals. Okay, so it's a uniquely mammalian feature. So again, back up here in the thoracic cavity, the top part of the cavity, we find a couple of structures. Centrally located here is this large organ here. That's the four-chambered heart. Okay, on either side of that four-chambered heart, we can find the lobes of the lungs. So here are some lungs, and here are some lungs, and on the other side as well we can find the lungs. So the lungs and the hearts are housed in this thoracic cavity. And then dividing the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity, we again have this muscular wall, okay, and that is that muscular diaphragm that is unique to mammals. Okay. So now we're looking at the abdominal cavity of the rat. The first thing that you should be able to notice are the many lobes of the very large liver. So this is this glandular structure up at the top. And if we lift the liver out of the way, we should be able to find the stomach. So the stomach is again, a thick-walled sac located up at the top of the digestive system, right here. So there's the stomach right there. Okay, and then the stomach empties out into these many extensive coils of small intestines. So again, lots of surface area for nutrient absorption, and these are very extensively connected again to all of this mesentery, which is used both for oxygen input and nutrient absorption. Now the rat has an interesting little extension of its intestine right here, this big sac. That's called the cecum. And the cecum is a bacterial storage unit. It has bacteria in there that are responsible for the breakdown of cellulose. Okay, so that's a different little structure. And then the cecum, from there we can follow more intestine, and eventually we get to the large intestine, which is easiest to see here down at the back. So there's the large intestine, which then of course goes down, opens out to the rectum and to the anus. Okay. Now let's take a quick look at the urogenital structures. Okay, so again, we should be able to locate the kidneys fairly easily, and indeed we can see one large lobe of the kidney here, okay, and another lobe of kidney sort of hiding under the liver on this side right here. All right, and then the urinary bladder in this animal, it's located down here. It's this nice little sac right there. So that's the urinary bladder. Okay. Now this animal is a male. If we see a female in class, we'll point it out, and I can tell that because of a few structures. First of all, up here in the abdominal cavity, I have what are called vesicular glands. So there are these two glands here. Those are involved in the production of sperm. Okay, and from there, we can move further down. This is basically down into the groin cavity. I'll move this up a bit. And I've cut, you can see, on either side of the groin. And what we find are these. Okay, there's one there, one on the other side right here. Okay, and those are the testes. And that is the site of sperm production. Okay, so clearly we have a male here. So just for comparison's sake, I've pulled out a female rat here to show you the internal female reproductive organs. The main thing that you're going to be looking for is basically down here in the groin area. You're going to be looking for a forked structure. Okay, so there's one right here. Here is another one right here. Okay, so these two little tubes here are the horns of the uterus. Okay, so there's two horns. This is the body of the uterus down here where they meet, and you'll often find associated with the uterus, you can see all this sort of yellow jelly-like stuff on the side. That's fat, so it's very common to see the horns of the uterus encased in a lot of fat tissue, and that's pretty much what you're looking for in terms of identifying a female rat's internal reproductive structures.